Finally, I think I can understand meditation in a way that I can finally explain. How do you intellectually meditate? No longer you have to sit around, say om, or like inhale, exhale. No, none of that. Today, we are going to understand how to use mind to break mind. Now, the common frustrations that people have when it comes to meditation is that you have to sit in one place, you feel bored, it feels like a time waste, honestly, right? Also, you need a specific time and place where you can do that. For example, most people, when I tell meditate, they think, oh, I need to cross my legs, sit, and then, I don't know, look at sky or something and do nothing. That's what people think by meditation. However, if you're like intellectual like me and you love using your mind and you are like a thinker and you think a lot, well, there is a way for you, luckily. I have thought this through. Our goal is to find a process that totally excites us but feels like fun. It feels like you're actually getting smarter and you get that epiphany moments. That's what I'm really going for. How do I get that? Oh my god. That moment. That, oh my god moment, right? It's called epiphany or whatever. Now you cannot have two modes. You cannot have one mode where you're sitting like a statue and doing nothing, and another mode where you're thinking constantly and all the suffering, everything just comes back and hits you like a ton of bricks. So what is the problem exactly? The problem is many things. One is mental masturbation. You might feel like you're getting somewhere, but in reality you're getting nowhere. And there are many reasons for it. But let me slowly get into that. That's problem number one. Problem number two is the fact of mental masturbation. Did I already say that in problem number one? Doesn't matter. It's so important, I'll say it again. Mental masturbation. When you feel like you're doing something productive, but in reality you are not. Three, we are not taught this, and it's not easily available for you to access this kind of information. I basically had to figure out by watching people like Jiddu Krishnamurti, like studying self inquiry in spirituality, and then understanding what are you doing exactly, and how is that different from what normal people do. The way we normally think versus the way you are supposed to use your mind to break your mind is completely different. Completely different. Completely. So let's just not waste any time and get right into it. So, what is exactly the solution? For us to understand the solution, we need to understand the concept of Shimitsu. And what Shimitsu is, it is an assumption that has the ring of truth. And it's an assumption that you make, but from your perspective, it doesn't feel like an assumption. It feels like truth. There wouldn't be any distinction between the assumption you made and this hand you're looking at right here. If I ask you, if I ask myself, do I see a hand in front of me? Yes. That has a ring of truth, a particular quality of truth, a ring, right? A tone. It has, yeah, I see a hand in front of me. Irrefutable. Irrefutable. To understand the concept of Shimitsu, let's watch this amazing video. Although it's a prank, it's very profound in its nature. So, here it's a very funny prank, right? A person dresses as a bush and he just acts not bush like. Now, the thing is, with this example, when you watch this video, you will see what's happening. This person right here basically made an assumption that this is a bush. And it's not just any assumption, it's Shimitsu. Shimitsu is an assumption that has a ring of truth. So the Shimitsu here is that this person is a bush. However, that is not the case. This person, of course, this person is not a bush. And when your reality gets questioned suddenly, abruptly, like this, you think this is a bush, but suddenly this thought has, wait, but it's not a bush. It's not acting like a bush. And all the stuff come up. You get this moment like this. You genuinely get a moment of this. Oh my god, this moment, as I mentioned. Any assumption. So if you notice, you can actually see the exact moment when the Shimitsu, when the assumption went from the realm of truth to the realm of an assumption. And there was a shift, and every time there's a shift like that, you get a reaction like this. So now that we understand the concept of Shimitsu, how do you exactly let go? QNE, Queen's New Elephant, an acronym to remember the technique that I'm about to say next. Q for question, N for noticing, E for experience. I will elaborate on this and give you exact steps, but I want you to get the idea of what using mind to break mind is like. Now, when you ask a question, now the problem with Shimitsu is that we are believing so many things so sincerely, so diligently. We do such a good job in believing stuff that may or may not even be true. And the problem is the Shimitsu is living amongst what you think to be true. Now, the entire process of using your mind to break the mind is this. When you realize that you actually made your assumption and your assumption changes and you get, oh my God, that is the epiphany moment. That's what creates the epiphany moment. So the question is, how can you become conscious of your Shimitsu and let go of it? Q and E, Queen's New Elephant. Question, notice, creates experience. You need to ask a certain kind of questions, which is what we're going to talk about next, whose goal is for you to notice. The answer of that question shouldn't be another question. The answer of the question needs to be something that points you to some aspect of your direct experience. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're let's say there's a golden let's say there's this golden apple somewhere, the one apple that is golden out there somewhere. Now the way you're supposed to ask questions is you are supposed to ask questions about the golden apple whose answer is a part of your direct experience, and the context is to notice. For example, if I ask, where is the golden apple? Good, good, good. Where is a question you'll have to search in your direct experience. Where is it? Where is it? Is it here? Is it here? Good, good, good. If you ask, why do I need the golden apple? Uh, your answer is another question. You see, now your answer is your thought. All right. What does this golden apple feel like? Good, good, good. If you're holding the golden apple and if you ask that question, what does this golden apple feel like? Now you the answer is your direct experience, right? The sensation of you holding that golden apple and you biting it and eating it, the sensation would be your answer. Good, that's a good question. A bad question would be, ah, will I never get golden apple? Bad question. Bad, bad, bad. Because the answer of that question would never be your direct experience. So I hope you get the idea. The questions like where, who, what are beautiful, beautiful question whose answer would help you notice. What questions are essentially, they are like canals, okay, that redirect just like a canal or whatever, just like a canal redirects the water to the farms. The questions redirect your awareness to a specific aspect of reality. So anytime you sit down and think, hmm, and you intellectually sit down to design questions. Hmm. The context should be to notice something, an aspect of your personal experience, and the answer needs to be your experience. It cannot be another thought. A Shimitsu is also an experience. What else constitutes as your experience, you might ask? Very good question. You have the awareness, right? You can question your I, you can question your thoughts, you can question your feelings. You could derive, once you notice your thoughts and feelings, you could figure out the beliefs that's driving those thoughts and feelings. You could also question your actions. Why am I choosing to act this way? How does it serve me? Your entire self help industry, any genre of self help industry, is based on this very concept: relationship, success, money, health. The entire self help industry is based on it understanding the assumptions that you make and you realizing that the assumptions that you made aren't true. And there's a different way to think. Step number one: designing your question. Now, there are two kinds of question. One is the context question, two is the content question. Now, what a context question is, you might have never done this before, but a context question is a question that you keep repeating and asking yourself that basically sets the tone of all the other questions that you ask. For example, let's say I have a friend and I'm really insecure around them. The Shimitsu that would be running in the background would be the context question there. You would be asking some context question anyway. And the context question there is, damn, did this person like me? Does 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 this person like me? That question that you keep asking yourself basically sets the tone of how you act, express, or even ask questions. So, the step number one is to design your questions. And to design your questions, the first step is understanding the context question. Context question is, you keep asking within yourself, do I like them? Do I like them? Do I like them? Do I like them? You don't ask them, do I like them? No, this is a question that you ask yourself. You ask yourself, do I like them? Do I like them? Do I like them? And the questions that come out wouldn't be, do I like them? But it will like show, like curiosity will come up. What kind of stuff do you like? Oh, you think this about this way? Oh, so you don't think about it this way? That is when I think, do I like them? Do I like them? Do I like them? I'm thinking the questions that's coming out is I'm asking with curiosity. When I think, do they like me? Do they like me? Do they like me? I would be asking something like, so how do you feel about people who think this way? You see, the context question sets the context, sets the tone. Content question is the question that you would actually ask someone. However, the content question doesn't really matter that much, because what questions you're asking after that, it is just an expression or an expression of the context question. Another beautiful context question I can give you for suffering: keep asking yourself, does this serve me? If you want to let go, for example, you can keep asking yourself, does this serve me? Does this serve me? Does it serve me? Does it serve me? Keep repeating, does it serve me? And now look at the suffering and ask, why am I holding on to it so tightly? Does it serve me? Why am I holding on to it so tightly? Does it serve me? If it doesn't serve me, what about it does serve me? If it, you know, does it serve me? What about the sensation am I not able to let go exactly? Because obviously it doesn't serve me. So why am I not able to let go? Does it serve me? The context. The context. The context is set based on the questions that you ask yourself. Does it serve me? Oh, What if I am misunderstanding the situation all along? Can I look at it a new way that actually does serve me? Does it serve me? Context, content, context, content. There are two kinds of questions: context questions and content questions. The content questions are like an expression of your context question. Try this with someone. If you feel you're insecure around someone, rather than asking, do they hate me? Do they hate me? Do they hate me? Ask yourself, do I like them? Do I like them? Do I like them? Do I like them? And see how the tone changes. Context question. Out of all the context questions you can ask, choose the one that notices your direct experience. Choose the one whose answer directs your awareness to an aspect of your experience. For example, when you look at this chart and you think, what are my thoughts? What are my feelings? Take all that question through that. Ask a question. Okay, let's say you have a thought that you want to let go. The context question, set it. Does it serve me? Does it serve me? Does it serve me? Don't ask that question. Don't ask that question. That question is you keep saying that to yourself because it sets the frame. You see this? That's the frame. So the context question, it's meant to set the frame through which you're looking at a thing. So does it serve me? Does it serve me? Through this lens, I'm looking at the thoughts. Now the real question I would be asking, can I become aware of the content of the thoughts? Because it feels like I'm not aware of the content of the thoughts. But in order to let go of something, I need to recognize at least what's holding me back or what's holding me down, right? So, can I recognize the content of these thoughts? Good, good question. Good question. Now you can recognize the content. Can I notice the thoughts for a second and see what is trying to tell me exactly? Good. Or you could go for feelings. Can you notice that feeling arise? Where exactly in your body are you feeling these feelings? And what is the point that is like a eye of the storm? Where exactly are you feeling? Are you feeling in your throat, chest, stomach, maybe in your back? Is it like a pulsating sensation? Is it a radiating sensation? Is it a sensation that is moving around in your body? Questions. Does it serve me? Does it serve me? Does it serve me? What kind of actions am I acting out? Does this action actually serves me? Why am I doing this? Why shouldn't I do it this way? Let's say you're procrastinating on something. Why shouldn't I study? What is exactly stopping me from studying? Let's say you don't want to wake up early in the morning like me. Why am I not waking up? What is exactly holding me back? Like, does it even serve me to be in bed? If it does, be honest. The vibe that you're going for is an open, skeptical curiosity. You're being open to all the ideas. You're being skeptical to not believe or make an idea into a Shimitsu. And you're being curious. One thing you have to keep in mind always is to be completely honest with yourself. Here's the thing, nobody's watching. So you don't have to confine with the constructs of how the society guides you to think. Let's say you actually hate someone and all the stuff that's coming in your head is like just bad words, bad words, bad words, bad words, bad words. Notice that, don't judge it. Nobody's looking. So only if you're honest with yourself, that honesty gives you the opportunity to look at something as is. The moment you're dishonest, the moment you think, oh, I can't think like that, and you try to reframe stuff, you lost. Be petty. It's fine. You're doing this alone. Of course, when you're talking to others, you need to polish it up with a social grace. But when you're doing it alone, be completely honest with yourself. Do I really like staying in bed in the morning? I do. Honestly, I do. I hate getting up out of the bed. I feel it's super comfortable, especially when my surrounding is super cold and I'm under a warm blankie. I don't understand why I should leave the bed in the first place. And the question is, The real question is the motivation I have to leave the bed enough of a motivation for me to actually leave the bed? Or is the pleasure of me being in the bed more? And most of the times for me, the pleasure of me being in the bed is much more. I would rather be in the bed when I just wake up. I would rather be in the bed than make videos like this. However, making videos like this, I feel amazing about it. However, I would rather stay in bed if I wake. So I'm being honest with myself. I'm looking at something. It's a very childlike honesty, not childish, childlike honesty. You're just telling what is. You're just looking at something and you're just telling what is. The final step is once you ask the right question, once you design the question, once you ask it and you know how to set the question, the final step is to rest in that experience. Like look at the answer and experientially notice it. This third step, don't delude yourself in thinking that this is something you can explain to others. When I ask you, where is the moon? And you point me to the moon, and I look at the moon, that is the third step. Me looking at the moon is the third step. No matter what you say or how you communicate or anything, no matter what adjectives I use, no matter what I say, the experience of me looking at the moon is completely mine, totally subjective. What you're feeling in that moment is just yours, and no words, no, nothing, no symbols can ever describe that. Symbols are designed to point at that experience, to point at your experience. The answer lies in that realm. The answer doesn't lie in a thought, first of all. The answer lies in your experience, you noticing something. So, so here's a personal story of how I actually applied this. I have a lot of food cravings. You might not know this, but when I was like growing up, I was like a huge I love to eat. I like stuff myself with food. And if I could, I'd be eating 24/7, honestly. So what happened? So I'm sitting and I'm doing my work and I have this craving for food. And I'm thinking, I'm craving this food all the time. That I eat, then I get acne, I get pimples, and I regret it. And the cycle repeats again, every day, multiple times a day, and stuff like this. And then I thought, one time I was doing my work, and then I thought, what exactly am I chasing? What is this desire exactly? You know? So so I want to make something. So I make fried rice, right? So I make fried rice, I eat it. And ideally, I thought this desire meant I'm hungry. But I get a particular sensation in my body, and when this sensation is triggered, I think I'm hungry. So I stuff myself with food, and it makes me feel good in that moment when I'm eating. However, I finished eating the fried rice. I ate till here. I physically couldn't push more food inside. I couldn't. That's how much I ate the fried rice. Literally 1 hour later, I felt hungry again. And then I thought, yo, there is no possible way I'm not hungry because I just stuffed myself with food 1 hour ago. Then what is the sensation exactly desiring? What is it telling me? Does it serve me? Does it serve me? Does it serve me? That is a context, see? That's why these kind of questions are arising. So I thought, so I'm like experimenting with this desire. Like, what is this craving? What am I exactly craving for? Food? Mental stimulation? What is it? And then I ate again. I ate something very sweet, like a cake, like a chocolate cake. But when I'm eating this chocolate cake, I'm noticing this desire, this craving. Okay, I'm noticing this craving, and I'm like, I'm like an eagle, watching this craving to see what happens when I eat a cake. Just like, okay, I locate the craving in my body. So my craving is near like my like towards my like lower back. That's where my craving was, somewhere around that, right? So I'm like watching the sensation like a hawk. I'm watching the sensation. I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat this cake. What happens to the sensation exactly when I eat this cake? I eat this cake. The thing is, the sensation is still there. However, when I eat the cake, the sugar, the mouth is so stimulated. The sensation in my mouth completely overpowers the sensation in my lower back to the extent that it's very hard for me to even notice it because the sensation in my mouth is so overpowering. However, after like an hour or so, the sensation disappears, the sensation in my mouth disappears, and the craving arises again. And then I thought, oh my god, this sensation that I thought for years, that I thought was food craving, was it never craved food exactly. The only reason I always associated with craving food is because whenever ate food, this sensation went away. It didn't go away. It was overpowered. I think is a more accurate thing to say. It was overpowered. It's like, oh my god. And and the next day I'm working and I get this craving again. And conceptually, I know that this craving is not food craving, but my entire being is being pulled towards eating something nice. Now I am going to my kitchen. I again make something really. I actually buy a pizza. Buy this huge pizza, and I thought I'm going to eat this pizza to the point where I will puke and eat again. You know what I mean? I'm desiring this pizza. I'll eat it to the point where I'll get sick and tired of it. So I'm eating this entire pizza. I feel so good. I feel so good. Well, of course, it's pizza. However, I'm noticing the sensation and it does nothing to the sensation. The craving itself, it does nothing. The craving is still existing. All I'm doing is just distracting myself from the craving. That's it. It is just sensory stimulation that distracts me from actually feeling the craving. Then I thought, you know what? What happens if I just not do anything? Like, what will the sensation do to me exactly? What am I so afraid of? What am I running away from exactly? What about the sensation is so terrifying that I have this urge to act on this perceived desire and keep stuffing myself with food, you know? Like, what is this sensation going to do exactly if I don't fulfill its request? And it was easier for me to not fulfill its request because I know this is not food craving. You know, it's just a craving for something. I don't know what it is. It's a craving for something, but I don't know what that craving was for. So I thought I'll just wait and watch this sensation. What will you do to me exactly? I want to know. I want to understand. Please enlighten me. Enlighten me, sensation. What are you going to do exactly to me if I don't eat that yummy cake that's in the fridge right now? Hmm? What are you going to do? I sit and I watch. I watch. I watch. So, what did it exactly do to me, you ask? Well, I would suggest why not find it out for yourself because it's an experience, see. And no matter what I say, the experience cannot communicate it. For the first time, what happened with me is I could witness it. I was no longer craving the sensation. Rather, when you watch it, you realize, oh, the sensation is arising within my awareness. And there'll be like the split from I am having the sensation to a sensation is arising in my awareness. Just like a flower is blooming, a cherry blossom is blooming in your awareness, similarly, the sensation is arising in your awareness. That's what's actually happening. However, that's not the point of what actually happened. The point is, how can you experience that for yourself? This entire video is not about what the moon is, but rather a finger pointing to the moon. How do you exactly look at the moon? What do you do so that you finally turn your head not from here to like this and you look at the moon yourself? That is really the goal of this video. So, the bottom line is this: you have a choice, all right? You have a choice to keep believing the Shimitsus that some does serve you and some doesn't. You have a choice to believe the Shimitsu and play by its game, you know, play by its unjust rules. Or you figure out the Shimitsus that is unfair and neutralize it, dissolve it, and believe the Shimitsus that does serve you. Why play the game of life in a hard mode when you can play it in the easy mode? The thing is, we are not players in this game, we are developers. You develop this game. We have the ability to change the game itself. Then why play by its unfair, unjust rules? Why not just change it? This video is about changing the game itself consciously, slowly, with love, affection, and kindness, compassion, of course. But we are developers. Don't treat yourself like a player. Treat yourself like a developer testing a game. Is this a game that you want to play in? No. What about this game don't you exactly like? Does it serve me? Does it serve me? Does it serve me? That's a context that's running in my head. What exactly about this game I don't like? Does it serve me? See, what exactly about this game do I not like? What would I like? What would I prefer? Ideally, what should this game feel like? Ideally, what should this game be? Should it be a horror game? Or should it be a romance? Or should it be about grinding, having like this obstacles? Or should it be like Mario, fun, easy, light? Finally, the choice is really up to you. No longer, the question is really this: do you want to be a player or do you want to be a developer? Do you want to play by the rules that is already unfair? Life is already unfair. And on top of that, we are unfair on ourselves. Or do you want to change the beliefs, notice it, neutralize it, and let go of it? The thing is really up to you. If you love this video thus far, I would love if you could like, subscribe, share in your comments below because I am 100% sure the process I'm sharing here, you must have done this unconsciously. If you have lived long enough, even like even X number of years, you must have done this unconsciously. I'm just verbalizing something that we all do unconsciously. Like, subscribe, share, that helps with the promotion of the algorithm, and let me know what you guys think about this video, feel about this video. I would love to know. That's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.